Good afternoon. Welcome to the Inside, where we take our voices to the world. With me, Love Owen. Here with me today is a special group of people. These people are found in every town in the country of Cameroon, every town in Cameroon, and they make transportation fun, and they help us get faster to our destinations, and they make inter-town transportation really easy. And without them, I think we would have been wasting much more time in getting to our destinations. And they are right here with us today. Here with me is Mr. Fogap and Mr. Carl in fact, they are the transporters. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to this program today.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carl. You're very welcome. Thank you for coming.
No,
Such a privilege. So, Mr. Fogap, please, can you just tell us what is it that you do?
Come over again.
What is it that you do? What work do you do?
I'm doing transportation. I do transport people from Linde to Douala. But Douala is not only our limit. We do as well go to other places, depending on the demand of the passengers. We do hirings at times.
Mr. Carl, do you transport only people? Can you transport things?
Yeah, we transport cargo, maybe we transport things, so Bimbe, Boya, do everything we need to, like transport, transport.
Okay, Mr. Fogap, is there any criteria? Do I need to fulfill certain conditions before I'm a transporter to carry people from Limbe to Douala or wherever they need to go?
Most certainly you should, because when this is a group of people, they need to be well known, because passengers at times, they need to be well known in the sense that when we are transporting people, people do forget their documents in the car. And within us, where we are doing our business, we have other people like these dealers, the ferrymen, commonly known as the ferrymen. So if you are not well known, if you are not well defined, then you cannot find yourself in our midst. Reason being that in case of any lost document, in case of any back or anything, you can always know how to trace it out.
So you must be registered in. I think there's some kind of association. It
is that kind of association. We should know your document. You should bring your document. We need to see your driver license.
Okay.
We have your identity card. We know where you are based.
Okay. Mr. Carl, are there any measures put in place? We know that it's transportation and you cannot prevent accidents to a degree. But are there any measures that you put in place to reduce the level of accidents between these transporters?
Yeah, of course. We have a team that we put especially for these things. Like a driver cannot be driving. We can have a member like a driver who drives without having a driving license. And we do check spare tires and make sure you have all your documents before you leave to any destination.
Mr. Fogap, you spoke about ferrymen. That's a rumor. We don't know how true it is, but people say most times they get robbed in those cars. Is it that do the drivers know about it, or is it that this group of robbers just got into the car and the driver is not aware? Because most times people get robbed in these cars, in these private transportation cars.
Yeah, thank you. What happened is this: we do advise passengers to come where they are loading and enter your car, because in case of any problem, we can make out that car. But most passengers, being what they are, they always want to rush. In the course of rushing, they go and stand by the road. These passerbys, those that are passing, now they will come Douala. Since you are within the environment, then the passengers will think that vehicle is going to Douala. That is a known vehicle. You get in, and within some period of time along the road, they can surrender with the gun, search you, do terrible things with you. So that's why we're encouraging all the travelers, when you are traveling, come to where we are loading.
Yes.
You stand there, you make sure they put you in the car. And we do advise and say, when entering a car, the first thing is not just that when they say this is a car going to Douala, you get in. You take the number of the vehicle you are entering first. That you should always keep it in your head before you enter. So that in case of any problem on the road, we can start from that number. to trace out the car.
Mr. Carl, in case of lost items, some people have lost their items. Maybe they fell asleep or whatever. They dropped their documents, phones, whatever it may be in the car, and they've tried to locate it. Some people find it, but some people do not find it. What procedures do you put in place to ensure that people get their lost items from your cars?
Yeah, like my colleague said, it's not really easy to trace those lost items. Maybe that's why we do advise our customers to be really sincere about traveling. They should know exactly the type of car they're entering, they know the number, so that when that thing get missing, we should know and we'll start from there. So, but normally, at times we don't know, because when the distribution of the car, we can know when it leaves.
Yeah.
So we do trace the car and then make sure we give the things back to the customer.
Is it also a challenge because you can put all these procedures in place, but then it depends on the individual driver. He may actually see the thing, he may see the phone or whatever it is. If it is valuable, he keeps it for himself. Like, no, I did not say anything. Has that ever happened?
Yeah, but it's really, it doesn't happen
Often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. We don't have the same characters, you can always tell who is who, but at times we do have cases like that, but we still try to manage how we do them.
Okay. Mr. Fogab, they always say that every business, the customer is the king. Customer has rights. Now, most people complain of the manner of talking or the attitude of some of these transporters. They say they are very rude. Want to get in somebody's car, but you may forget, actually it's true, you may forget that you have perhaps 10,000 francs and you don't see it, and the person is so rude. Does the association trash this kind of issue?
The problem is this, it counts on the individual, as you rightly said. People, they have their intervals of working. You have drivers who do operate as early as 4:30 in the morning till 6 they stop working. So within this period, if a passenger should come in around 12, it's always good to notify the driver when entering that, please driver, I have 10,000 francs. So that before this man takes off from Limbe or from Douala, he knows already what he's doing, the mathematics.
Yes.
Because, take for instance, if we are leaving Douala to Limbe, and in Douala to have this problem of change always disturb in Douala. There, everything is business. If you want to change 10,000, somebody tells you, I will give you 9,500 francs. That's what happens. So we don't want to get mixed up. And because of that inconvenience, because of your 10,000 francs inconvenience, some of the passengers are very smart. Once the first passenger gives you the 10,000 francs, you go searching for change. Before you turn, the others are gone. So it's always advisable for you to notify the driver. So what we do is this: when you notify me you're having 10,000 francs, I can begin from here. Here I have the upper hand. I'm well known here. This is my hometown. I'm based here. I'll collect change from here before I leave. Or when I do the mathematics, I remember with 10,000 francs in the car, I know the rest of the 2,000 francs will enable me to give you a change.
Yes.
So that's why we are encouraging all the customers, when entering, you notify the driver, I have this sum of amount. Don't go and get the driver embarrassed. So when you get him embarrassed, because the passengers, what they have in mind is that when they get there, they say, I'm in a rush, please keep my change, I want to go. When you talk to a driver like that, and whereas from origin you never inform the driver, the driver must get annoyed. You irritate the driver. You are like irritating the driver, so the tune of the driver must change, because you are pushing him out to the wall. You never intended to go and be searching for change in the world. That is the problem we have.
Now, have you put in place certain procedures to make sure that customers don't run away with your money? Because you said, and that's really true, if you're telling me, you're focusing on me, okay, let me get the change for your 10,000 francs, let me look. It's very easy for Mr. Carl to just sneak into the crowd and just, do you try to take the money, for example, when you're still in the car, like when you're almost getting to one point, like, okay, start passing your money?
Yeah, we do, because when you collect passengers from half mile, the next thing we always do is, and this is what has been happening. You see, most drivers at times, when after loading their car is full, they always ask for big money. That big sum, 10,000, 5,000.
Yes.
That is to know the amount of 10,000 francs we have in the car and 5,000 francs. And if I'm the driver then, with 9,000 francs change in my pocket, it's more preferable for me to get your 10,000 francs for the car, so that I will have change for 10,000 francs. But all the same, some of these drivers do fail because some of them they leave their houses without money. When they come, no, they do take their balance and take. Some are reliable, some are unreliable, some are not reliable. So when they come now, they don't have money. They collect monies from passengers to fuel their car, forgetting of the inconvenience, the unforeseen on the way. When they leave now half mile, they might arrive there at mile 4. We always have this misunderstanding between the mile 4, the syndicate people, and these people that with the private cars. You might get there and the car, they offload the car, whereas you have already fueled the car with
somebody's passenger's money.
That's what happened. At that junction now, it's going to be a problem. You have to undergo some negotiation with that passenger, how you will give back that passenger's money. So it's not really easy. And with that attitude, most customers now, those that have been victims, when they come, or those that are aware, when they come and you ask for big money, they will not even tell the one to give you. Feeling that when they give you that money, the same incident might happen on the way. So you only have to embarrass you on the way. Driver, here's my money, and then you begin to. That's when the talk of war begins. Because when he embarrass you with 10,000 francs, but you did not tell me, you did not inform me of the 10,000. That's my money. Give my change. You are up to give that change.
Yes.
You don't have any choice.
Okay. Now, Mr. Kawa, I've tackled one part, the money part. Let's go to the speed part. Some passengers are not comfortable with speed, high speed. And we're like, driver, please, we're not hearing no. Please, can you go? can you reduce your speed? I'm like, I'm going now, and it just starts one kind of querying. How do you solve that? If it is you, what would you? Will you reduce your speed? Or be like, our passenger, shut up, and let's just go. Or you say, okay, let me reduce my speed.
If it's really obvious, nobody wants to buy, but at times some people do run because they need to really balance up what they've paid for. Maybe they've paid some certain controls, maybe they want to go faster than control. So at times, maybe they are not even driving in speed, but passengers do still complain that they are speeding too much. So at times, it's a matter of conscience. There are no, for instance, I cannot be, there are no, it is 1 week too. So I cannot be speeding as well because I think it's 1 week, so all depends on the person. But at times we do have to listen to our passengers at times. To satisfy them. And for the fear of any accidents whatsoever.
Your speed, I mean, these transporters that form of passing between small gaps. You see big car and a big car, and just squeeze. It's true. Everybody travels. I mean, you've entered those cars before. Just squeeze down like it's a movie.
Yeah, normally the passenger will see the way the driver sees, because the driver can pass through where you don't even believe. Because the driver take a dimension from where he's going, so you know exactly you will pass this way and you will do it.
There was one time I was sitting in front, my leg was on the...
You were feeling as if
my goodness, I was doing brakes, that it was me driving.
It do happen even with us colleagues, even when I'm sitting in the car, we feel the same. So just a matter of when we are not feeling comfortable. But when we are in the stable driving, we don't feel like that.
I get you now. Mr. Fogab, I think like you spoke about working time, so people start at 4 a.m. and they end at 6 p.m. Do you monitor people to make sure that, okay, this one, for example, the red car started at 4 a.m. so by 6 p.m. he has to go home? Because one reason for accidents to maybe tiredness. You cannot work from 4 a.m. till the next 4 a.m. You'll be tired. Do you monitor to make sure that the cars who start at 4 a.m. they must end at 6 p.m. and the cars that take over from that 6 p.m. must end at 4 a.m.?
It's very, very impossible. Because these drivers, they have their various problems. Take for instance, you drivers who have others like you call the attachment. Second drivers. After you are tired, to give it to another person. Okay. Or the day you want to rest.
Be off.
When you are off, you give that car to another driver. And take for instance, this driver should, let's say it is towards the end of the month. This driver need to pay his house. This driver have been taking things from a shop around him on credit. So when you give him that card, is that same day this man wants to balance up your balance and the debt he is owing to pay the rent and pay those other bills. So by so doing, it's going to push these drivers to work more than what they are supposed to do. And now, those that are there, the loaders, what they want, they always pray for more cars to come and more customers.
Yeah, they get paid as cars are loaded.
We have, it's an association. Okay. They have some tips that they drop in the association.
Okay.
That at the end of the day, once you are a registered member, we have the norms. It's an association.
Okay.
We have the norms. At the end of the day, as if you come in contact with any problem and you are a member of the association will take charge.
Okay.
We have our own limit that we contribute. So we always see to all our members' problem if only you are a registered member. So what I was saying is, when these people now, when they get on the way, it's difficult to know. It's difficult to say go 2 trips, go 3 trips.
Yeah.
Because here my motion is that I want all the passengers here to go to travel. I don't want you to come there and be stranded because there are no vehicles. So the only thing is to put precaution in place. We do advise them as well, as we rightly asked my colleague. We do advise them. There are times we control their insurance.
Yes.
We make sure you have your documents intact. You don't drive with your slippers, and we do control as well. When driving, you don't drink. But not to an extent, because a driver will drink before coming, so you don't know. We don't have the apparatus to
okay.
So it's very difficult. So it's really God that is taking charge.
Amen.
It's God. We are working with God.
It's true. It's the lives of people you're carrying in your car.
So.
Mr. Khan, you spoke about loading. How is the loading being done? How do you load cars?
Load according to how we can maybe the first according to how we can order it.
Can I come in?
Yes, please.
How do you, when you talk of transporters, this place is not really like I wanted to give that correction.
But
it's not legalized.
Legalized
something. These things started with 2-3 persons. That they came, they discovered that people were standing, like when you go to Rai.
Yes.
You find people making
long line.
Some are pointing east, some are pointing southwest. So those that are passing, they come now and stand and say, okay, I'm going to Bapusam, they put in people. So these are this originated. So after a given time when the place was known, and that's the base of Limbe, so people now had to start coming with their cars. It's not that we have to. Those are vehicles are not transport vehicles.
Yes.
And likewise, you see most private people, all the private people when they are going to Douala, it is even in the text that you cannot drive a car alone. It's impossible that you have your car and they want to live here for Douala. You go alone in the car. It's not advisable.
Why you so?
In case of any breakdown.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you can follow.
In case of any breakdown. So it's good to know the two of you, and maybe you pass the whole night without sleeping, and then you want to go to Douala, you want to rush to Douala. Just the fact that I'll carry one person in the car when we are conversing while moving, if I'm feeling sleepy, that man can get me, or please stop sleeping, that kind of stuff. So you see, that's how it's originated. At the end of the day now, those that they have nothing to do, they just decided to take that as their own business. Some boycott from the taxi area to come and base now applying the Douala route.
Okay.
So it's not like it's a particular group. Even most big people that are in the society, they are there in that association. Sorry, they are there in the association. So that's how it originated. Then we come to discover that even the prison, they have their leader. Even the ants you find them moving, they have their leader. We say, but we cannot just leave this thing loose. We should try to be organized in such a way that we can keep order and then make our passengers feel comfortable. So that's how we started, and we are doing our possible best to keep the entire Cameroonians who are coming in and out of Limbe. We want to give them the comfort that they deserve.
Okay, but then how do you run, since you say it's not like public transportation, how is it that you run?
That's why I said we decided to make this thing to keep order.
Yes.
To call people to order. To sensitize these people. When there's a problem, we need to rally them by putting our notes on the board. The members will come, we sit somewhere, and then we tell them what to do in order to maintain peace. Now, when we began like this, the next thing we have to do was to register members.
Yes.
To know who is a member, who is really a member, and who is not a member. So those that opted to be members, they came in. And as the years are going, we have our criteria that we put in place. To become a member there, then you have to give some token. Because when these people have already raised, let's say about 2,000 pounds for their insurance, for the members' insurance, and then you want to benefit. If you eventually are a member, therefore, you have equal shares, because the sense that we are in trouble, we give equal treatment. So there's something you must drop in to balance the equation.
Is it monthly or just as you come?
When you are a newcomer, we give you what you are supposed to pay, and then you begin to give. We don't push it to the wall, because if you want to get that money at once, it means we are pushing it to the wall. And so when we tell you we need 5,000 pounds, we pay installment.
How effective has it been?
We have done this for over some years, almost about 18 years, 20 to 20 years.
Okay.
We have done many things, like we've buried some of our colleagues who had accidents, those who have died through illness and some other things. We partake, like a colleague is getting married, or a colleague has lost his wife or something like that, or his child. So we do assist him. That's how we do.
Okay. That's really nice. The association is going on well. So we'll go on a little break, but when we come back now, we're talking about the association more. We just want to take a breather, please. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the association and your work and how it's running. So we'll be right back after this short break.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Inside Main Love 01. We are still talking about the awesome people who make transportation such a delight, who make it easy for us to move from town to town or between towns. And they've been telling us how they run the association, how they make sure that the passengers get to their destination safely, and also how they make sure that they themselves as individual drivers take the passengers to their destinations safely. And we're just going to continue in the juicy discussion. Please just sit tight and watch us as we unveil their work to us. They are very important, because you and I, we can really attest to the fact that we've gotten to our destinations way faster than we would have if they were not there. And they've been playing a very important role in the society, as they've been providing transportation, like he said, not just between Nimbe and Tuduala. They've also been going to Bafusam. In fact, anywhere you need to go, if you just let them know, they'll take you there. And of course, those of you who have lost your documents or whatever you forgot in your cars, you can attest to the fact that if you go to them, you always get it, or they help you to get back these things. And it's important, as they've noted, that when you get into the car, please do not just get into it blindly. Try to get the number plate, so that in case of anything, you can always trace the vehicle which you entered, and the problem will be resolved. So when you've been talking a lot about how you help association members when this thing goes wrong and that thing goes wrong. How is it that you do? Is there a particular amount for particular occasions? For example, you say if it's a wedding, is this? If you lose a parent or a child, is this? How does it work, Mr. Fogan?
Yeah, thank you once more coming. It's an association, and these bylaws are being put by the entire association.
Yes.
When these bylaws are put together, if you lost as a member, if you happen to lose a member, there is an amount we contribute.
Okay.
And the association is going to take charge. They take charges. They don't take all the charges. They take just what the association has put in place. If it is transport, if we are to transport you, we transport you. If we are to
Take for instance, the whole association, we call on the whole association to be there on the barrier. From the cops, removal of the cops, we come for the wakekeeping. From the wakekeeping, we do transport the cops to wherever they want to lay the cops. We put it there, and then we come back. We bring back this information to the entire association, where we sit and diagnose how much money was contributed, what was the expenditure, what is left. Now, what is left now, the association will know what to do, the entire association. So during this transportation to the village or wherever, it's not all the entire association that goes.
Yes.
Some members, we can take a bus. This bus comprises of all the members, 35 seater. We make sure we take you to your destination. And then we bring back the feedback to our members. When we come back, we sit, we diagnose, and then we come to conclusion. If it is 10,000, we say, okay, let's say bye-bye to our friend. We can sit and then we share and drink. That's all.
Oh, okay. Is it, Mr. Carl, is it the same thing for a wedding?
Yeah.
Someone is getting married, you know, it's once in a lifetime. It is a wedding.
No, it's the same thing, but we have different amounts to contribute for any occasion. Wedding has some contribution, while something like bomb house has some contribution. So any occasion has some contribution.
Like Mr. Fogab said, do you do a particular thing for every member, or is it okay? For example, X lost the wife this year. We paid the transport. We took care of transportation. Now Y has lost the mom. We're going to take care of feeding. Is there a particular thing you do, or it just depends?
No, as constituted, every member is equal, as I said before. Yeah, we do equally what we do to Paul, we do to Peter.
We have equal rights.
Okay. Now, we know that you do a lot for the community by transporting us. Aside that, what is it that the association, how does the community benefit from you? For example, someone once said the people who live around where the park is, that's opposite Fako Bakery, their houses are safe, one, because you guys are always up, there must always be drivers there. So that's one way. In which other way does the community benefit?
The community must always benefit from most drivers. Most importantly, those of us that we transport people from entertainment, like from Limbe to Douala. We do inform to the security men of dangers that are coming. Maybe you can see something wrong, then we have their numbers and call them. Maybe for get to a control, you must control the type of passenger will carry to. Because when you suspect somebody, your mind is not there, you must.
You just see somebody and suspect them, you just can't you suspect them.
Their behavior, we know the type of passengers who carry at times, then we know the way they do their things. Maybe from there, an experienced man now being trained for that, but maybe can identify well the customer or the passenger. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Fogab, how is your job? Is it difficult or is it easy? How is your job?
Nothing is easy so long as we are living. If you ask a carpenter will tell you he's taking a lot of risks climbing up. You ask the mechanic, going under the car is full of risks. With the drivers driving on the highway is risks. Everything in the world, the only place where you say you can rest or there's peace is when you are no more existing. So everywhere there's risks. The thing is just that you should love your job.
Yes.
You should be very, very determined. If you are determined, wherever you are, you will make it. We have people who are pushing trucks and they are building mansions.
That's right.
So we do love our job, and we do thank the high rankies in town, because they do compromise with us. They know we don't have jobs and we are managing. All of us there, we are married.
Yes.
We have children in schools. We send children to school as well. So they do understand with us, and they have been, I can say, they do give us that chance to operate the way we are operating. But we do operate the same, but we should not obstruct them. When we are operating, we have this crisis. We need to cooperate with them for the security, for the well-being of this
town.
Municipality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are doing our best. When passengers, those are not, they don't have their documents, from their appearance, from the way they talk to you, we know. And the next thing we do is we emphasize on all our drivers not to run the controls we need on the way. When you find this kind of passengers, you should be the first person to stop at the control. The policeman, the uniform man will be at the better place to control these passengers, to know who you are carrying in the car. For instance, when you come, you are traveling, I'm going to Douala. Yes, madam, give me your bag. You give your bag to us. I don't have the right to search your bag. So when we put your bag in the car, the only place where I know they can search your bag well is at the control. So what I do is, anywhere I meet the control, I stop. And where I suspect you most, I tell the policeman who is controlling, take care of that man, that is his back, take charge, he's going to control, so that I should be very safe. I can be transporting somebody with a gun without knowing. And mind you, if they get that man, you must be an accomplice.
Yes, you must be.
So we are trying to run away from all these problems.
Mr. Car, what is it that happens that you want to go to Boya and the car is passing round and round and round? There was one time, there was even one shortcut at mile 4. You go round and what's happening?
As we said earlier, we are not really that authorized to do what we are doing. So at times, there is some authorized back at mile 4. They have their own syndicate. So when they mount their gate, put a barrier with the gendarmes, they don't like, because they do say they have shortage of passengers, of which passengers prefer to travel by using the small cars because it's faster. So we have problems with them times, so we prefer passing behind. Yeah, so should not at least disturb them too.
Okay, Mr. Foga, do you think that people appreciate your work enough? Like, do they appreciate what you guys do enough, or people are just some rude, ungrateful?
I would say the majority do appreciate what we are doing. They do appreciate, because I think it's the only means that you can get to Douala faster. And we don't have much drops. When you enter a car here, you're going to Douala, we drop you directly at one point. You are already at center of the town.
Yes.
So you can do your transactions easily. Whereas the other syndicate, the differences we have is this: if you go to the mile 4 park,
yes,
you need to take a taxi here, they drop you at the mile 4 park. You go to the park, you pay your ticket first. I'm going to Douala, yes, but pay your ticket. You see it's written there, Douala. You pay your ticket. You pay your ticket, you don't know the car you are going. They say that is your car. After paying the ticket, they show you a car. It might be you are the first person. Now, time factor. The problem is time. You might have a business in Douala, you want to catch up a business in Douala, let's say about 7 o'clock, and then you go and enter a bus at mile 4, the bus finally leave at 9. You see, you can't cope. But with us, we have lesser seats. So you can come, you work with time. If you see that you cannot catch up, you can easily, okay, you are carrying how many persons? I say 4. 4 is how much? 10. Okay, let's go. On the way, if you pick another person, we begin to do counterbalance, we'll do the deduction. If you don't pick another person, okay, I'll pay you 10,000 francs. That is to facilitate your own business. And that is the most reason why you see most people, when we get to my floor, when they even stop our vehicles, at times they offload the vehicles, these passengers would prefer coming back to half mile rather than to stand there and take their bus. I will say this, at one time you see, I'll give you another example. You look at these bike people, the Okada men. I left at one time, I went to Yaoundé. When I was coming back, I had no money. I finished my money. So I entered a bus. I told the man, there's a friend in Douala where I will collect money and give. So when I arrived Douala, I called the bike rider. I told him to pay my transport. He paid my transport in the agency. Then we negotiated how much I was supposed to pay him from the agency to one point. When I get to one point, I met my colleague, driver. I said, boy, give this Okada man this sum. They gave him the sum. And then I entered the car, and when we get here, I took another Okada man. Pay this man this sum, he paid. And then he carried me to my house, and all that sum I paid him. So we have different means of transport which they are not equal. What the bike man is doing, I will never do those services. And what I'm doing is different from the buses. So that's how we have been operating. And these people that they differ, their way of operating is different. Unlike I can see carry you, or before I arrive Douala, you say no, it's remaining 10 minutes. You have to be at the airport.
Just continue.
Okay, guy, how much can I give you? I said, okay, you can just give me 5,000 francs. It's a continuity depending on the passenger, if you have your money, anytime you can travel in Lima if you have your money. Any of our agencies where you find these people doing this private driving, anywhere you find yourself, the problem is money. If you have your money, your problem will be resolved. Whereas in the agency, a bus, if you count the number of seats and they have their limit, a bus will not cross this place. If you get to Carthage, they need to control them. The bus is not supposed to cross Carthage further, so they have so many disturbances. But with us, once we are alone, I'm now like a private car, and we do go faster.
Okay, Mr. Carl, things you've been saying that it's not like really an authorized business. Does it not give you a lot of problems, both with law, order, and all those checks? Is it not troublesome?
It's really, as my colleague earlier said, there is nothing easy. Nothing is easy. So we do at times. It's not like we are really encouraging people like we are best because we believe, we know we are best. We can do it faster. But at times we do understand that from here, when you kick from here going to Douala, maybe you have problems with those guys at my 4. People, you may have 2 people in your cars, and I believe at times it's only our faces that can even prove that we are doing this type of thing. That's why they disturb us time. But somebody they have never seen him, they cannot disturb him. I don't think so, because you know we are doing the business. So at times we do just arrange with them, then continue.
So I want to ask you one funny question. Has your car ever broken down? You have passengers and your car breaks down at maybe the village after Mungo, and it's just bush and bush and bush. Have you ever had a breakdown?
Most certainly. It happens. It happens at times even in the night. That's why we are trying to put all this security in place with tires, because if you have a breakdown like tire, you always get involved. You always get involved in case there's any harassment. You are an accomplice. Those are things you need to. The drivers, you are supposed to have a good tire. Your spare tire is supposed to be a good one. Something should happen that you can really defend yourself. But you have a breakdown like your engine problem, it's very, very obvious that it's a problem. Passengers, they need to understand that this is a problem. It's not being caused by you. This is a man-made something. It can get bad at any time. So when it happens, the only thing is, the first thing you do is you look for any nearest vehicle that is going to Douala. You do your best to transport these passengers, put them back in another car. If you people had agreed on 2,000 francs per head, what you do is you collect all their monies to 2,000 francs, and then you go in for another negotiation. You look for a bus or any empty car going to Douala. You negotiate and you pay. You make sure these people should get to their destination safely. So this is what they have. That's what happens.
Mr. Khan, have you ever had a breakdown and then you get robbed? Like all of you get attacked, like, give me all your money. Give me all your money now.
No.
I'd once been a victim. It wasn't a breakdown. Mine was not a breakdown. It was total robbers. Those robbed. They struck me there at Mordecai.
Were you alone?
I wasn't alone. I was already sleeping. But people I do know, they arrived in Limbe very late in the night. The car they took on arriving, welcome to Limbe, the car got bad. So the only person that they had to call was me. Please, Uncle P, is this man? I said, hey, how? They said, please, we need your service. What is the problem? They said, no, they need me to take them to UP. These people, they're business people. They had their fish, they had other things, items with them. I came down, took these people on arriving. Guys have blocked the road with stones. So since in the night there's an average speed that you run,
yes,
you should function between 120. So, and that place will already be slope. When you are coming this way, you cannot see the downer part.
Yes.
So immediately as I initiated descending, I saw the stones. I stopped just before those stones. When I put the car on the reverse, these people came from behind. But they are gone. Stop. Give me the keys of the car, which I gave. They put everybody down, removed my shoes, took things from me, took phones and all whatnot. So those at the toll gate were already aware. The gendarmes were there. But they are there for a purpose. They are there to secure money that is being collected at the toll gate.
Yeah.
They could not leave that place now to come and intervene. So the only thing we're doing there is just that when vehicles were coming out from there, they had to stop them. There's something happening in front. So I waited till they went with my car. They could not come, they could not continue to do it.
Yes.
So when they asked me who are those on the way, I told them lies that no, there's a mixed control at the toll gate Tico. Knowing very well that when I said there's a control there, these people will not go with my car. I told them there's a mixed control, police, gendarme, army, but they still went with my car since we have so many cities roads leading to the Tico town.
Yes.
So when I was moving towards the toll gate now to signal those people to alert the police that the gendarmes who were there, I saw another vehicle coming. I thought it wise that I should go and then save these other people. I should save the other customer that in my car. On arriving, I discovered it was still my car that was coming. When we were stopping, help. So when this man hauled, I discovered it was my car. Those people, they came out again. They said, you again. So we fell down, and then what happened? These people were already going towards Tico. They met other trucks coming. Since they were not through with their job, the stones were still there. So they bypass and then make a U-turn, overtake these trucks. They were in front, while those trucks were behind. So they came and stopped in front of us, and then robbed the other vehicles in front of us.
And took your car and went.
And then when they finished, they went with my car. But that car at the end of the day was abandoned. We discovered the car there at where the routiers are doing their control, Big Mom Market Mutenga. That river where they wash vehicles. They went and abandoned that car up that way. That way we collected the car. So those things, it happened with us. But all we do is we thank God, because everything we are doing is God that is taking control. Nobody knows. God has been helping the drivers and the customers. We cannot really control drivers as much, but we do our little best. Somebody before leaving the house will drink and get drunk before coming to drive. Some do smoke their hams before coming. I don't know. And we cannot predict them. So everything is in the hand of God. And you, a traveler, when you come to our place, since you have in mind you are in a rush, you want to go faster. When they show you this a car, it might show a car that is looking, the man is looking responsible, but deep in you, all you want is you are late. You want to go. So it's God that is taking charge, and you go and enter any car that you want. It's a matter of choice then. You go and enter any car. God take control of us, and we pray that God should continue taking care of us.
Amen. Mr. Calvo, don't you think that's something like maybe you guys should take some karate lessons or anything to protect yourself in case that kind of thing has to happen?
What kind of thing? The
robbery.
The robbery. If you say we should take charge, what of the uniform people? If the uniform people are unable to take charges to
take charge without having
they are in town, they are everywhere. There's everybody in town, police and gendarme. Things are still happening. They are well armed, but we don't have anything, even a knife. If you find me walking with a knife, it's bad. They detect. No, not only the car, but if a policeman should catch you with a knife, you are suspected.
Yes, that's right.
I'm not authorized, so there's no way we can do.
Okay.
And we are in town. Things are still happening. What more of us? There's no way. That's why I put everything in the hands of God. God has been taking charge, and I would really say this robbery man has never done nothing to us, because they have not killed any of our members.
Okay.
So God is taking charge, and we pray for more from God. That's all.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming. I mean, for those of us who travel, please travel safe, take care of yourself, put little procedures in place, take the car number, be acquainted with the driver, so that anything that happens, you're on the safe side. And please travel safe. Learn to say your prayers before you get into the car.
Very, very
yes,
important.
because only God can direct you. Oh, this one is the right one, that one is not the right one. So you get to your destination safely. Thank you so much for watching this edition of the program. Watch the rebroadcast if you did not catch it live at 10 p.m. and see it tomorrow live at 2 p.m. This is the Insight with me, Love On.